I don't like the poke in the eye, but I don't mind the
physicality.
Yeah, I don't mind a little bit of like competitive, how you doing, keep it moving, especially at the WNBA with how much is at stake.
I hope to kind of do the same for Caitlyn if she wants it. I just think the relationship piece is huge, and when you're trying to do something great, it takes everybody, and so.
Sophie Cunningham is not the type to tiptoe around drama. If she has something to say, she's going to say it. No coded language, no hidden messages, no carefully worded, PR-friendly responses. She's as direct as they come. And this week, that no-nonsense approach put her right in the middle of one of the most heated storylines in the WNBA. Angel Reese and the rumors swirling around Caitlyn Clark. It all started when whispers began circulating. Stories that painted Clark in a negative light. Stories that didn't match what people who actually know her have seen. The source? That's where things get messy. Social media sleuths pointed fingers, rumors fed more rumors, and soon enough, the name Angel Reese started popping up in connection to the drama. The idea that one of Clark's biggest rivals might be tied to fueling false narratives set the internet on fire. Fans split into camps instantly, some defending Reese, others accusing her outright. But one person who wasn't willing to let the speculation run unchecked was Sophie Cunningham. Cunningham had been watching all of this unfold, and she wasn't impressed. To her, it didn't matter if the rumors were just harmless talk, or if they were exaggerated by fans. In her mind, anything that chipped away at a teammate's, or even a fellow player's, reputation without proof was crossing the line. And if she suspected someone was feeding into it, she was going to call them out. During a post-practice media scrum, Sophie's tone made it clear she was done with the whispers. She didn't name drop right away, but she didn't have to. The reporters knew exactly who she was talking about.
I want her to go do her thing, and anything she needs from me, I'm going to be here. But again, I think that like just the competitor that I am, I'm fierce, I'm sassy. I stick up for my teammates.
They didn't know, like, whoa, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe people are doing this to Caitlyn Clark. Teammates weren't jumping in there. They bring in Sophie Cunningham. I had no idea. Sophie Cunningham was a black belt at the age of 6.
Yeah. Yep.
She addressed the situation head-on, saying that spreading unfounded stories was low and had no place in this league. Her words carried weight because she wasn't hiding behind vague statements. She was looking directly at the cameras, speaking like someone who knew her comments would echo far beyond that gym. Then came the moment that lit up every sports blog and Twitter feed. Sophie Cunningham didn't just condemn the rumors. She made it clear who she believed was connected to them. She mentioned certain players who had been stirring the pot, making offhand comments that could be twisted into something much bigger. And then, without hesitation, she dropped the name, Angel Reese. The room went still. Cunningham's delivery wasn't emotional. It was matter of fact. She wasn't ranting. She wasn't yelling. She was just laying it out. She said she'd heard enough to be convinced that Reese was, at the very least, playing along with the narrative. And for Cunningham, that was unacceptable. If you've got a problem with someone, she said, you take it to them directly. You don't let lies do the talking for you. This wasn't just about defending Caitlyn Clark. It was about setting a standard. Cunningham has a reputation as one of the league's fiercest competitors, but she also has a code. For her, competition stays on the court. Once the final buzzer sounds, the trash talk ends, and respect takes over. What she saw happening with these rumors crossed that line, and she wasn't going to sit quietly while Clark's name was dragged through the mud. The fallout was instant.
Here's Sophie Cunningham, the badass for the Indiana Fever, who is willing to fight.
Sure.
Which we are big fans of for Caitlyn Clark.
I will not let untrue gossip take my focus away from basketball. What is most important to me, which is basketball, my supportive team, and my fans.
Clips of her comments started circulating online before the press conference even ended. Fans who had been defending Reese suddenly had to reconcile with the fact that another respected player was openly calling her out. Others applauded Sophie for stepping up, saying it was refreshing to see someone cut through the passive-aggressive noise and just put the truth on the table. Angel Reese, for her part, didn't let the comments slide. Within hours, she was on social media posting cryptic messages that many assumed were aimed directly at Cunningham. Lines like, "People love to twist the narrative, and y'all believe anything," kept the speculation going, and if anything, made the rivalry burn hotter. Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark stayed quiet. She didn't address the rumors. She didn't respond to Sophie's defense, at least not publicly. but insiders say she appreciated the support.
Definitely the W, especially if Sophie Cunningham is going to continue to fight people for messing with Caitlyn Clark, because it feels like Caitlyn Clark is going to get treated in a certain way in this league for a long time.
Clark needed. She is the energy button. She is the toughness. She is the enforcer.
Clark knows how fast a player's image can be shaped by half-truths and online speculation, and having someone like Cunningham publicly step in meant a lot. The dynamic between these three players is part of what makes this story so compelling. Clark and Reese have history, both on the court and in the eyes of fans, ever since their college days. Their matchups have always been electric, full of energy and competitiveness. Cunningham, on the other hand, isn't part of that original rivalry, which makes her decision to step in even more interesting. She wasn't defending Clark because they're best friends or longtime teammates. She was defending her because she believed what was happening was wrong. For Sophie, this isn't just about one incident. She's been vocal in the past about how women's sports often get bogged down in petty drama that overshadows the actual competition. Her message was clear. The league should be focusing on the games, the talent, the rivalries that happen between the lines, not off-court gossip designed to tear people down. And by calling out Reese, she was sending a signal that accountability matters, even when it's uncomfortable.
And then there were some, ladies last night that were trying to go a little physical. And in last year, I think something we noticed, and I think a lot of people noticed, is when Caitlyn would get bullied, nobody would do nothing.
WNBA commish, no place for hate, question mark. How come you didn't speak out about the hate Sophie got over this lie? She got a ton of it. It was despicable.
Of course, some fans saw it differently. They accused Sophie of stoking the fire instead of calming it down. They argued that by naming Reese, she was escalating the situation, making it more personal. But to others, that was the point. Sometimes you have to shine a light directly on the problem if you want it to stop. Cunningham wasn't interested in backroom whispers or private warnings. She wanted to make a statement loud enough for everyone to hear. What happens next could set the tone for the rest of the season. Will Reese respond directly? Will Clark finally speak up? Will the tension spill over into their next matchup? No matter what, you can bet all eyes will be on them when they share the court again. The energy will be different, the stakes will feel higher, and every interaction, every glance, every word will be analyzed in real time by fans and media alike. For now, Sophie Cunningham has drawn her line in the sand. She's made it clear she won't sit by while false narratives spread, and she's willing to risk the fallout of speaking up if it means protecting the integrity of the game and the players in it. Whether you see her as a hero for calling it out or a provocateur for naming names, there's no denying she's forced the conversation into the open.
Sophie Cunningham, 6'6", prettiest girl in the WNBA, but also probably the most fearless girl in the WNBA and a tone setter.
That is a pivotal thing for stars. And Sophie can get buckets too. So it's not like, hey, we're just here to fight. I appreciate that is the case.
In a league where rivalries and personalities are as much a part of the story as the scoreboard, this moment will stick. And as for Caitlyn Clark, she may have stayed silent this time, but she now knows exactly who has her back when the noise gets loud. Like the video in Catch a Dime.